Welcome to Call of Plastic. On this episode, we're reconning the core 120-piece Army playset from Lanard Toys. This set features 3 factions representing green, tan, and red teams, dueling in a near-future conflict with advanced weaponry, armor, and vehicles. On a side note, the core series has an entire backstory featuring an animated comic series that ties in other sets in a range of time periods via a rift in time. But we'll explore that another day. In the meantime, we stay on task. Let's recon. This set, which can be purchased online from various retailers, comes in a sturdy bucket with a dual-purpose lid, doubling as a carrying handle and defensive bunker. It also screws on with a solid hold. As stated earlier, this set features 3 different factions: Green Army, Tan Army, and Red Army. You also get 3 fences, 3 barbed wire fences, and 3 CZECH hedgehogs. Notice the green and red teams possess vehicles, while tan only has defensive structures, or at least those structures are the same color. The dispersion of figures is equally balanced. There are 8 different stances with a total of 4 units per stance per army. And so far, out of all the sets I've purchased, Lanard's quality control has been impeccable. Going on to the inspection lineup, you can see that these models are a tad bit bulkier, in that they have broad armor, thick knee pads, and heavy boots. What's also appreciated are the cuts to the gear belts and other pouches, the wrinkles in their clothing, as well as attention given to the weapons and the hands of the figures. You can see all 5 fingers and a firm grasp on the forward grip of their guns. The riflemen are on the move with either goggles or perhaps night vision goggles and bayonets at the ready. Upon closer inspection, you can see a great degree of detail even down to the chin strap of the helmets. Here again, you witness a well-defined hand on the trigger and forward grip of both the breacher and the rifleman. And here you can see all 5 digits are visible. Very nice. The scout sniper has a lighter load, wearing a boonie hat and equipped with a precision rifle. The heavy gunner with his back arched carries a Gatling gun, ready to disperse lead across no man's land. As we move to the props, we're given fencing that will require a little more than bolt cutters to get through. Then there are 3 barbed wire fences to make life a little more difficult for approaching enemies. And finally, the CZECH hedgehogs. These will need to be strategically placed to deter an advancing tank. The sandbag emplacements are impressive in that they feature lumpy-looking bags full of sand that you can see the sewn edges in. Also, the interior is lined with ammo crates. Atop them are 2 in-place machine guns, perhaps a heavy caliber such as a 30 or 50 millimeter. The weapons of all kneeling figures will clear the sandbags. We certainly don't want to have any accidents with AT specialists. However, the machine guns do have a slight hang-up. As you can see here, the gun belt hits the top of the sandbag next to it. And if you press the gun in further, it will actually snap into place, which is how it's supposed to be, but this will effectively impede the ability to move the gun to the right. It's a small detail, but it can make all the difference in the heat of battle. This set also comes with 2 turrets with the same heavy machine gun mounted on top. These are up higher and may have a better sight line than those atop the sandbags. You bring the drinks, I'll bring the hot dogs. The bunker is pockmarked with scars of battle. It features 3 interlocking pieces that can be slightly adjusted at roughly 35-degree angles for a more snug campsite. You can connect the 2 ends to form an A-like bunker, but it's perhaps better arranged normally. Next up is the clearance evaluation. Units such as the Rifleman, AT Specialist, and Breacher will clear the opening. However, your support unit may have a difficult time watching his sector. The opening is big enough to accommodate 2 or 3 units, so the bunker will have to be prepared for by the attackers. We move onward to the vehicles. Green Army controls the skies here, but the Reds bring the heavy hitters on the ground. First up is the fighter jet. Judging by the initial profile of this model, I'd say it's based off of the experimental Northrop YF-23, aka the Black Widow II, which was the competitor to the F-22 Raptor. As shown here, the top features nice, crisp lines and panels, but the bottom wasn't emphasized. All in all, a nice, sleek design. Ground pounders will flee in terror when this guy shows up. The attack chopper looks as though it was designed with both speed and stealth in mind. Rocket pods hang from its sides, and it boasts a main gun beneath its nose. The rotor spins freely at almost any angle. Moving on to the Red Army, here we have the main battle tank. This guy is a bit small in comparison to the foot soldiers, and he doesn't offer much in the way of cover. Still, the model itself has a sleek profile. Its best point of attack is likely straight on, with hopes its angled turret deflects incoming enemy fire. And as we see, there are a lot of design features on top. However, the turret gets hung up on the tiny rivets protruding from the panels along its edges. Here we pop the turret off. Yikes! We broke it! Almost. Luckily it popped back in, but we would recommend that you leave the turret on even if the tank has been quote-unquote destroyed in battle. And finally, we have probably one of the cooler vehicles, the MECHWARRIOR. Its size can be perceived in one of two ways. Either one can pretend it's larger than what it is, or it is controlled by a soldier inside. This bipedal death machine has gun hands like a T-Rex, short and stubby, but optimized for balance. Its feet are massive and can easily crush fencing and sandbags, not to mention the lowly tan or green scum. The only moving part is the turret or upper torso. It will spin freely 360 degrees, and this one pops the top easier than the tank and without damage, and goes right back on. Once again, this is the Core Army Playset. A great set, highly detailed. Great job, Lanard. If this helped you reach a purchasing decision, consider liking this vid and blast that subscribe button. For Call of Plastic, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.